Good day and welcome to one of the biggest campaigns in a long time. Let's just get straight into it while we talk about the introduction. It is the new update from 2026. There are tons new stuff and new environments, or vistas as I think they're called, to look forward to. Some snow to slow us down, some jumps, and some bumps, of course. A bit of a different style AO1. I like it. Now the off time is going to be like super easy to start off with. Alright. And of course a new prestige skin, depending on how many medals you can get. Let's move to map number 2. Probably won't add too many tips and tricks on the first few. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just smooth driving. Watch out for the gears, and definitely don't do what I did and hit the wall when I had the snow wheels. Right, pretty simple again. Somewhat a similar style, except like a lot more speed. Here's an easy peasy map once more. Go to the canyon-esque vibe. This one and Canyon, this and Canyon, nice. This and the Lagoon style, very much like the olden barns, which is pretty nostalgic in my opinion. Oops. Is that still going to be all time? It might not be. I think it will. I don't like that. I feel like they can't be this easy. Does it really help the players if it's this easy? This is the Boon style, but I also have a game crash. Well then, back soon. Okay, take 2 on map 4. That's a bit scary if we're crashing 2 minutes into our campaign. First look. A bit of a tech map here, a bit of plastic drifting. Re-drift a little bit so it kind of sets you up with an angle, and then a smooth drive. I was nearly about to say, was that a risky wall ride, but it isn't. And a big yump to the end. Interesting to see if there's going to be any zoops. Here's another one. Medals on these first few super easy. Which, low-key for me is not that great, because then we don't really get to feel it. How good the maps are. Alright, my opinion, really boring cars right here. Action key. Then we fell off a bit, so you definitely don't want to fall off. And I was going to say, is it going to be one more, or that is it? Full loop, and the trophies for you getting all the overtimes or all golds, etc. on each difficulty. So now we move to the slightly more difficult in the green series, but probably not going to be too bad. And we have a very similar start to the first map. Go outside line if you really want to risk it. Speaking of risking, no, that looked like a really good run. But not quite the way, so our first retire. I put the game visuals up as much as possible. That looks pretty cool. Oof. Let's just go check the map out. Down through the middle, we have some snow that you can land on, so you want to definitely avoid that if you can. And it's still enough. That's why I also low-key continued, but Yeah, that one definitely jump as low as possible in that middle jump, and then gain as much speed on the turn before the big jumps. Should be an interesting map, hopefully. And maybe another tech map with a nice pink sky. Good. Very tech heavy so far. Uphill. It's kind of ready to use the grass to start a drift, but we haven't this time. My god, nose bug. Ah. So I went for a left right here, then that threw me off too much to the end. So we just get to play the map again. Interesting that the replay is laggy. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Drifts needed at the start, but definitely on this one. I think you need a drift for here then. That turns slightly better even. Left, right, up and get a bump. So it's definitely going to be possible. But if it isn't, then that landing is going to be a bit wonky. I'm not sure how I'd gain that much extra speed to clear that though. So I'm not sure if I can bring that much help on that map. Because that will take a bit of getting used to playing the map first. So I want to continue getting through the maps. We will focus on this map. We have a full dirt map again. I think we will see definitely more of the themed styles in this campaign. The one environment, Vista, the author time, of course. So map with the lagoon style. They do have new names, but I will forever call it Lagoon, Canyon, Snow, Baby Alpine. A lot of this penalty grass and snow and stuff in this campaign, I'm not really feeling that. It's alright if it's occasionally, but if it's going to be in every second map. A speedy map, maybe some speed slides possible. Probably an air brake at the end there. That one definitely needs a bit more investigating with the lions. But as the first 10 are super easy. We shall continue. With the final green map. I was going to say, I see a different route here, so we may have a lap map. You can see in the top left, that is indeed the case. Those who have a keen eye. And set that up as one singular drift. Watch out for the gear change on that. I think with better pace, you will probably hit the gear before that. And then you want to drift after you've geared up. If you drift while on the gear change, it will cause carnage to you. Okay, fun map. You know what would be funny if we get a 60 lap Nardea map to end us off? I would like that. I don't think everyone would, but oh my god, we get every map available, which it got changed that you have to get certain medals on every single map previous. But they have reverted that, I think. Let's go frisky. Nice. Let's pretend I didn't crash there. I mean, I think we'll start to finally get maps where I will need to take 2 attempts, so let's just see the map. Alright, a bit of a straight ice. So a lot of these kind of transitions. Not much of a drift there, actually. Ooh. Is that one of the... I mean, it's not the first risky finish, but... it's actually kind of a low-key, proper risky finish. I went for a little bit of a ramp cut, it's called, on that ramp. Don't know if that's going to be faster there or not. But typically, at least in the old games, you used to do that so you can get a lower jump. It's a bit hard to control, but I think you have just about the perfect speed for it to land in the tilt. Right, unfortunately got the slide, and I've now also failed again. Why is it always just one map that I just fell over and over? That's super easy. Alright, so delay and then turn. With the arrow. Oh, still not great. Use that tilt a little bit to start up, and then a big boy jump. 27272. What a number. Leaderboard looks like it's back. Because there's no way in hell the times I was getting was 500th place. But I'm just chilling. I'm not really worried about the times. Alright, here we go. Bang, bang, and bang. We have a right turn, Heavenly. Okay, insta. Quite a flat base map so far. Just gonna tap drift, but yeah, we didn't need to. So I think I have motion blur on, even though I shouldn't have it on. Okay, the TAA setting. Let's see it here. Right, that's a pretty fun map, very fast. I mean, we've seen a few of those type of maps before. It kind of felt like an old map, but I'm not sure. Before we move on to the next map, there was, I've not seen a lot, but I did see this on Twitter and in Discord, which I found kind of funny. I haven't noticed this in my game, but another bug that has been found outside of the meme lawnmower. Because this is just the map we just played. It reminded me of seeing this video. But yeah, that's a bit of a wild bug. I don't know why that's happening. There's also been like checkpoints that are completely blacked out and you can't see anything after it. It's a bit weird. So far, mostly of what I've played hasn't been buggy, other than the Grand. So we'll see if that continues. I mean, I did have the crash earlier, but... Alright, let's continue. Alright, back with 13 after that funny meme. Awkward gear at the start, which you will have to watch out for. The bump we go. More penalty every second map so far. I feel like, anyway. Oop, opale. Other than the very, very simplicity of it, this map seems pretty good. I did unfortunately tap there, otherwise I think we would have this first try. Ooh, I thought I tapped, but I don't think we did. To the finish line. I mean, the canyons look awesome, but the maps are slightly basic so far, which isn't always an issue, because simple but effective means every player can play it from beginner to advanced. But so far I'm not personally being brought back to it yet. Alright, let's use a bit of that penalty to get a better angle. I don't think you want that much penalty, but maybe it's a viable strat. Ooh, sharp turn. Where are we going? We're going over the grass again. More penalty. Oh, it's back to back now. So we will have to restart this one, but I think this one's going to be a bit of a shocker, so... let's continue, as I unfortunately get the worst respawn ever. They didn't really think about that, did they? There's a checkpoint right there. It saw the cut, but didn't fix it any other way other than putting a checkpoint. Okay, okay. Man, the, yeah, I don't know what's up with the car replays. I don't think I've ever seen that. So if you don't hit any grass, you definitely get more on follow-through speed, which might be good because you have a massive downhill. I went for a nose down there. Maybe the air brake is still better. The nose down helps with... wasn't sure if this was going to be a big drift with the reactor. It's going to be smooth. Yeah, there wasn't a checkpoint, you could just do this. Oh, nearly. Left right did seem faster. We've hit a little bit, but doesn't have to be perfect for now. Let's try air brake this time. And it definitely grants you a better, cleaner line. Let's go for a drift this time. I mean, it probably will end up being no drift, but if you want to just go 4 times and consistent, drifting should be the one. Nearly got another palindrome number, if that's what you call them. Do want to quickly show you something which I just noticed. I noticed that this stays. I don't know how long it stays, but I saw something I also saw was people complaining about how thick the grass is, and it was actually a bit hard to see. I won't even lie. I didn't notice it on any of the previous maps too much, but I did notice it on that section. And there is a back-end way of changing it. It'll be interesting if that gets added to the game, or if it's just one particular setting, or... Does that count as more penalty grass? Just put a sign. Doesn't really grant me the best angle, but go for the sign. Yeah, the maps are very simple this season. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that. They said that the maps would be quite complex once we get later in, so... I mean, we are still in the blue series, which typically in the last few seasons have been fairly easy still. Let's get a bit of a left-right again. The left-rights are coming in a lot. Again, because it's kind of that basic style of mapping. Oof, I got caught in a 2-wheel drift there. You definitely do not want that. Oh, it's 3 laps, you donkey. Let's see if we can still make it. Or am I going to waste 30 seconds? I thought I read 2. Also, you can definitely... Okay, we're doomed now. Definitely risky jump there, which I only just noticed now. Which makes a lot more sense for the penalty being there. Just I don't think you want any air time. Let's go for that. Small jump. Let's see the difference quite a lot. Landing gives you way more speed. Oh, yeah, to me this turns a bit awkward. It feels like I'm going to have to tap. Looks like you're always going to get the free wheel, so just avoid the penalty as much as possible. I mean, fairly fun map though. It's a lot of speed once you start to get into it. It's definitely reminiscent of the old school lap maps, which weren't really in a lot of these campaigns in this game. Cool. Thought I had it, but right. Did hit a lot more penalty that time, but keep going. It's hard to get this jump on the extra bit of speed. This is going to be one of the longest maps they've ever added. So I'm kind of feeling like they're going to add like a 5 or a 10 lapper towards the end. All the author times in the blues, so we get more trophies, more cars. And there are physical bugs in real life, not just in game right now. Okay, I talked about it being a bit simple. It already looks a bit more complex with this map. Watch out for the poles. Lovely. I love getting a slide out. Let's just continue to check out the rest of the map. More penalty. I'm quite disappointed about all the penalty. Feels like a lot. Okay. Seems like a good map if I don't slide out on that one corner. So just brake tapping at a correct angle and correct timing will help you here. Brake, 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 brake. Even I struggle with it. Just a real quick check if that's faster. Doesn't seem like it. It's a better angle. And then if you're about to go too far, you can just release. That's the basic of ice. It is difficult. You eventually start to get it. That one you definitely want to continue a drift all the way through. So this is definitely a tough track. Because I noticed this jump about we're about to get to is super well made, but it means... Oh, that time I did overjump a fair lot. Straighten out. And then this ending, obviously you don't need much. I mean, good map though. Just a, definitely a jump in difficulty there. Lots of tapping of the brakes needed and releasing timing. Ooh. Yeah, I was wondering what these new blocks would be utilized, how they would be utilized. We really one of the only new blocks added. I went for a release there, but I don't know if I needed it. Time I drift without a release, so maybe I did. Let's just continue. Wasn't sure how much. Very blind. Onto the asphalt, so you can smooth that all away. Fantastic blind hole again. Landing in these to avoid the penalty. Whole point of this map, I suppose. Might be able to ramp cut there. It's a bit tougher. These holes that you can't see. I don't even know if I got a medal there. That's kind of surprising. Definitely a step up. I think most will find the first 15 very doable. At least the first 10 for sure. Obviously, once we start to get to red, it gets quite tough. Ramp cut needed this time. Tried doing that in one, didn't quite hit the angle, but looks like probably is possible. Do this without using speed this time. This was straight, and then a big turn. And easy peasy. And squeezy. Too bad of a map there. What do we have straight away? It looks like no brake. It is. Brake yet? Yeah, brake. We do. But now we have a boost. More penalty? Like, this is just lazy. Red boost over penalty. Come on, we can do better than this. This also kind of looks like an old map. I'm not sure if it is. It's use of the transitions though. But be a late camera switch. Not too bad. Sometimes they add it way too late. It's like this. So lazy mapping. Doing as much as possible at the end, it seems. Alright. I think that's just kind of an average map. Doesn't seem that amazing. It feels like an RPG map, which I always love, but... It's a penalty, not a penalty, a plastic block here. Does look like you will need to ripped at least once. Sure where the fastest landing is going to be on that. You can try and low jump there and it's pretty effective. Bit faster, but for now it's fine. Oh, over the penalty we go. Still not quite fast enough now. Ah, that lock up of the brakes was unlucky. I just randomly have the best start, or am I just bad? This run, of course, is the best run. And, like, late tap the brake there. Still not enough. Mid turn is really throwing me off. As low jump as possible. That is not low at all. We nearly gained 0.3 just with a better turn there. This one you can send though. This one's the lazy drift. Lazy transitions. Reading the penalty. Not quite a sub, but not too bad of a run. Let's go to the next map. We have it. Interesting. You can use the red times here to try and find out how low the jump you can go. And smoothly, and we do get a water bounce, but then we have water tires, it makes it a bit tough. And this one. Just for the style points, I'm going to continue. This grass is so tall. Again, this one not that far though. We're getting a lot more transitional. Definitely stepped up instantly. Okay, let's learn on this map. So use the red line here to go for the jump. Small release if you need. Air brake. Someone set up wide and then jump low. I think even a release is probably smart. Slight turn already. No. This again has worked. Do watch out for too much tilt. Decent run. Tilt at the end here if you kind of go for a left-right. Second one is quite tough. A lot of risk at the end there. 52.09, let's see how close we can get. I think that was like a really good run. I'm not sure if we'll get close to 52.09 again. Fun map though. Probably one of the best so far. That's kind of all the penalty. Ooh, that's... Oh, no way, that's... This one will be just testing how much you want to risk over these wall jumps. I like it. Tough thing to get used to. I got one good run, I want to go for another good run. You just keep going. Not great, but it does the job. This turn's a bit weird though, because like I can practically jump over the entire, but then don't have much follow through speed. Different line here. Is it any faster? Sounds about the same. Way worse. You know what? We just want a off time. We know we can do a really good run on this. That's a good angle. It's my car. I mean, we got to watch my car go into the moon. That's a good ending. In before it isn't enough, but it is. But yeah, that one's probably my favorite map so far. You have a lot you can gain on that. To Stadium Style looks really, really basic. I don't know why I second guess myself to that. Go, a bit of a drift. Okay. In Insta. Doubt we get this first anyway. First try. And as I say that, we immediately fail. I was gonna try and avoid what was next, but... Yeah. Is this just a penalty campaign? I don't know if I like this, man. It's a bit different, which is cool, but... We said in the past that I think freewheel is the most boring thing in the game. I was gonna say it must be a two-lapper then. That's cool design at least, I like that. Don't know if I'm gonna like the map, but pretty good design. Went for the full outside, didn't seem to work as I hoped. I'll be interested if there's a trick on this. I can't think of any off the top of my head. You can jump like that and it saves you a lot of time, but I think with that particular angle it's not going to pay off this time. So this lap, you get pretty inside. This pump before that turn's a bit awkward. Drift. comes with practice. This is just timing, tap on the turns. Let's try the no airtime. I mean, you do get the way better angles, so with this particular map. Again, felt a bit quicker. Yeah, I think that might be like you land air brake on top there and then... One more to go. Definitely way longer maps than usual with these lap maps. Be very long ranked matches. Turns both there, but it'll do the job. Normal this time. And to victory. 204. I mean, if there's a reactor shortcut or something bonkers there, sub 2, very doable. You can see my rank is pretty bad, so I think there might be. I'm going to quickly check. Definitely get inside on the first time as well. Pretty good setup. That's not really that good, but oh well. You definitely can't just do nothing. I mean, there's got to be some tactic. That was never going to work. Why did I try that? Decisive again, just like the start of the map. So 157 already. That's pretty nice. I mean, you can probably save half a second a lap instantly with good driving, but... So it's just a mega nose down, okay. And then it is smooth because how it's been laid out with the rocks on the side. Okay, so we now reach the themed maps, which will be in your weekly cups in, I think, no, but I think May is too late, so I'm not sure when it starts. So these will be a lot more difficult, and I'm not even sure if they'll feel that Nardeo-esque. But they should be really good maps. But yeah, these will be in competitive, and these will be really needed for you to practice if you want to get some good rank points. Just waiting to see if there's an identity, but I can't tell you just yet. I guess you can say maybe this is an identity. And that's fine, except we have ice tires. Makes it a bit awkward. One, two there. China theme. It's gonna do. It's just a throwback to like season 1. Get a basic one here. Difficult to get right. Yeah, that's a reuse. That was maybe even in a Trackmania 2 tournament, I think. Not even this game's. So that will be what we're seeing in the campaigns now. Do tell me what you think of that. I think it's a good idea. Oops, I don't know why I thought it was to the right. In TM 2008, oh, that's true. That is very true. But it must have been like season 1 or something of World Tour. in this game. That was like been a very long time. I mean, the best thing out of it is they're just putting in-game ways to actually qualify for tournaments and stuff. So I think that's overall positive. If that means putting these maps in ranked, I think that's fine. It's not probably my preferred maps, but I think this is what we're going. Most of the esports will be going back to having identities, so on that is irrelevant. Moves down a bit. Start the drift. Turns very weird in my opinion. And then this part of the map seems pretty nice. Go pretty. That actually wasn't that bad. I was gonna say we'll go pretty soft. Oh my god, they've got the outlet there. You ran into that. I was fine, but then they trolled. Is it going to be super tough? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these. I think they're going to be super hunted. Yeah, so that... I hate that this is often being built like this. It's not needed. You can attack this so differently. I mean, if I don't think I'm actually 2000 rank. I don't think that can possibly be the rank. I mean... I was going to say, I can't be that much time off. Okay, for once, which I usually don't do, I'm going to put the medal window counter on, which you guys might... It's ugly without it. I disagree. Racing line over cleanliness. Outside line to pick up speed. Damn, that's already 0.1, and that's a way better line. I think this is where I lost a shit ton of time. And I'll get this. Oh my god, I overjumped like nothing else. Can't even make this turn now. So I've just lost time. And that's bad. I was playing, I was practicing for the Fastlearn Cup coming in Trackmania Games. And we got a TM World Tour map. And I said that the maps are good, but it takes me personally ages to learn them. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to get author time here. It's so funny because all the author times I think were quite easy. Forgot that this was going to be a thing now. So I'm going to play the campaigns for like 35 minutes, and then I'm going to play the rest of the campaign for an hour and a half, because I won't be able to get these quickly. Terrible start, but we'll keep going. Small release. Once again. Longer this time. Time is gained, so yeah. These tracks, unless you're playing at the super top level, which I mean most people will be if they're playing them, the time gained is in these identities. Which is why I'm not the biggest fan of it, because it focuses on just one single part of the map. You may as well just have a 20-second map with identities. I think I'm the only one with a Zoomer opinion of I prefer close tight neck races the entire time than having spectacular features in maps that might be funny, haha, you failed. Let's try the inside line. That seems really fast. So a lot faster until I lost grip. Don't know how to do this turn though. This turn feels so off from the rest of the map. As long as I don't fail, which is highly likely. Yep. Like low-key this one, you can just send it into these. Is that going to be banned in World Tour? That feels so much quicker in my opinion. That's kind of cool at least. Exactly 1.5 seconds. There's no way that's top 50. That was not at all one of my better runs. Other than the turnaround. Maybe that literally is, I was saying, like, this risky strat here. It's gonna have to be what gets played. Like, it feels so much faster than this one. Although, obviously, you have so much more boost speed. Yeah, this map, I don't really like it that much. The more I played it, it didn't feel that fun. It's alright, but I think stuff like this could have been improved. This drift is alright. I feel like this is like a quarter off, and then this turn just feels like it's been placed just for the identity, which I don't like at all. And yeah, the identity's fine, but yeah, just can't get evolved around it, if I'm to be honest. But maybe I'll do like a top 5 after I've played them all. So let's see this one. Quite nail that. Really got to slow down. Turn. Usage of the new blocks. I didn't really know how they would be used. I don't know if like they have. Okay, it is a risky jump. They have different physics or not. I'm yet to work it out. Wait, this is all Season 1 maps. I fucking knew it. I knew it. That's from Season 1 as well. I knew I wasn't going crazy on map 1. Does that mean we're going to have the silly, no steering? Oh no, we have this shit. This was the most boring thing ever, in my opinion. Oh, why have they made it the same? Why have they not come up with new stuff? That's really poor in my opinion. That's really disappointing. Of course it's a new map, but Damn. That was fast, but it looked fast. It feels like the physics are a bit different, but I'm not sure. So you insta jump into because otherwise I clip. Wonder how difficult that particular small identity is going to be, because you have the penalty before it. I don't know if you had the penalty in the older versions. Hopefully, like, we might get author time like instantly here. Yeah, I would have. They got inspired to copy paste. Yeah, that's piss poor in my opinion. That is absolutely terrible. They've done all this new content. They've done everything new. And then let's decide for the big part of the update, which is esports. Let's just recycle. Am I the only one to think this? Like... Upside. Yeah, that's disappointing in my opinion. That's got me less excited. Nothing else. Yeah, I don't know what the pros' opinions are. I mean, they don't have to play anything new, I guess. They just have to learn another map. Yeah, and then they also have to play it yet again for a long time. I feel like these assets look better in turbo maybe because they weren't contrasted against minimalistic modern team 2020 stuff. Well, I like the scenery, but I hate I've never liked the sign stuff, which I think is what you're talking about. I've never ever liked that. I think it just looks so out of place. I guess you could call it 2D art, maybe? Which is strange, because signs are technically 2D art, right? But yet, signs kind of work. I haven't really ever thought of that. Why don't just downhill be done like perfectly? I mean, that was pretty good there. I mean, you just look at this. This just looks hideous, in my opinion. This was like there was one particular season that they just placed assets around the map. And it's back. And there's not a single person who thinks that this looked good. Like, this looks way better. This is minimalistic and effective. Like, this just looks odd. Like, I don't know. It just ain't it, in my opinion. There's a reason why the game has certain scenery and the game doesn't have certain scenery. Oh, if I got that gear there, that would have been the fastest start. It's really slow, but let's just get a run going. Let's release a little bit. There we get the run. Turn. You can cook that really nicely. Ironic with the scenery there. Dude. Sweet. That last one was awesome. That's a good run, to be honest. Although the start was pretty safe-ish. Is that top 50? Yeah, that would have been like top 25 for sure. That's a bit annoying. The one time I just saved the run because I'm like, yeah, it's time to finish. I get like a pretty good end. I actually don't mind the map in that one, although it being a little bit basic-ish. But then again, I just get to the identity and I just find the identity so boring. It's made to be like, for the spectators to be like, wow, someone's about to fail, oh my god, and then they fail, and then that's awesome, but I much prefer just watch close driving. I find that way more as a wow factor. I don't know, man. I'm in the minority, so maybe ignore my opinion, but that is my opinion on it. See, I mean, this looks alright, but then this looks so stupid. Like this here, oh my. I mean, at least this is just something. That is just making me. We've gone back to that season where it was in like the stadium, which looked pretty cool, but then they just added assets everywhere. It just doesn't look good in my opinion. I know what they're going to do when they get to Australia. It's just going to be a massive kangaroo here. It's going to be a massive Sydney Harbour and Opera House. And then like probably an Uluru. It's going to just look so out of place. I don't know. Because I think in general, the idea of having like, oh, we're going into the movie set area. But when you have like 2 assets and that's about it, it just doesn't give enough detail. Like if you were surrounded like by Hollywood buildings and I don't know, like I guess that's the Blockbuster logo. I mean, you are going super fast as well, so split on it. But this especially looks really bad. Is there anyone who actually thinks that looks good? I would really like to find out why. I'm not against you liking it, but I just think that is so out of place. Do find someone who thinks the scenery looks good. I mean, everything else in the scenery looks great. It's just, you know what it reminds me of? This is where I'm going to leave it. It reminds me of when you were 10 years old and you go on Word and click clip art and it comes up with these really weird painted pictures and you just pop it on something. That's what this reminds me of. And that's all I'm going to say about it. It's interesting because it's pretty... It feels like a completely different campaign to the usual. But that could also be said because we have these maps at the end, we have new blocks, like I think it's always going to feel a bit fresher. Oh my goodness, that's nice. You have to do that perfect. Oppale. And I oppalayed too far. Lovely. It's a good first run. So, my opinion so far, which I'll say at the end as well, is for me, I think this is probably one of the lesser campaigns, personally. I think this is like a 6 out of 10. The maps are fine, but there's literally nothing more than that. But they now have maybe a lot more longevity with this being a thing in the campaigns. Which is good, very good. Maybe it's not good for me because So far I'm not fully feeling the maps, but that's just me. I'm saying as an unbiased point of view. And we have a bit of a narrow chicane area for us. Oh no, that is the main identity. It's a bit, that's about it. Wait, was the half-pipe jump the middle identity, even though it was at the start of the map? What was the middle identity? This. Because I think there have been a few identities around the dirt flicks, but not that short? I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Tried full outside, definitely as expected, not faster. Aim for the red line. This time we have plenty, which also means we probably have plenty of speed here. Nearly like full release that entire time. And I talked about this on another map. That's a very delayed camera switch. I don't like that. I'm already trying to get out of camera 3 as soon as I land, not once I've done the half pipe. Block, I should probably say. That big drift. Yeah, you need to set up a lot better than that, which I kind of thought so. I have a feeling that must be fully one shot. Kind of felt like you would have to drift at some point, but maybe not. Oh, cool. How's this like Forza other than having new scenery? I mean, did he say that? Saying that it's an interesting thing to come back to, well, to come to the game to. But Forza also has this type of scenery, doesn't it? It has like placed assets in the editor, doesn't it? That's like the whole point of the Forza editor. Imagine if that's where they got their ideas from. No, I think they've been doing this for years. They definitely had this kind of stuff in Turbo. I just don't think it fits at all in this game. But like all the canyon stuff and valleys and lagoon stuff, like, looks really good in this game. But adding a Sydney Opera House and a Brooklyn Bridge, just don't. Which is fine. You don't have to add everything. Maybe I'm just an angry player, which I'm not, but I bet people will think that, because they always seem to. But I don't think me seeing, let's say I'm from America, me seeing the Brooklyn Bridge is going to be like, oh my god, I'm excited. My home city is in the game with these assets. I don't know. I would like to know, but I would be very shocked if they don't do Australia, and I don't think with this type of assets, it's gonna make me any less or more excited. I think is what I'm trying to say. Because I feel like that's the point of it, right? Like, you're trying to add a bit of spectacularness to the map by adding world trademarks. What is it? World signature buildings, I suppose. Oh, nice. That was good. I think that was that. Like, I understand them trying to involve every country by adding features of that, but I just think the scenery looks so out of place. Let's start on the right side finally, and we make it. Felt slow though compared to one of the earlier flicks I had. And we have a super tight corner. Go into the identity. Great. If you have to neo all this, I'm doomed. Pretty... Wait, it isn't overtime by 0.1. I mean, something which would be fun is we try and make a map together, but one, I don't know if it's updated, the plugin, and two, it would probably break, because it always breaks. But that would like be quite funny to build a map together with the new blocks. That would be really fun. So did we just see that jump I made? That was such a wide approach, but then I got the jump like really nicely. So I don't know if that was fast or slow. Oh my god. Can I make this? Should I just take this terrible... I'm not going to be satisfied with this run though. I can do like so much faster than this. Because we're legally obliged, once we get the overtime, we have to move on. It's the law. So now that we've got it... I mean, they're close to... Oh my god, guys, did you just see what number I got? I'm going to annoy so many people, I love it. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm getting like 60s and stuff. Because they don't feel like that good of runs. I mean, it's only been a day, and there's a lot to do. But it felt like I was really slow on the first map. I mean, I don't know. I think we move on. It's been a while. But you can see how many different lines there are on this map, so there is a lot more to be had. I think I can probably gain an entire second nearly in this one part. That's what it feels like anyway. But yeah, overall not too bad of a map. I don't mind the map, I think, until the end. And then it's just... It's like a flowy map. Some nice transitions, some big speeds, some big drifts. And then all of a sudden you just go super tight. And then it just is really slow after that. I don't know. It feels like two completely separate maps. Also, this has been annoying me every single time I've been driving through here. I don't know how much of the topic is going to be had in the video, but this is just an excellent case of why I don't like this. Like, is there a single person that thinks this looks good? I don't know how this looks good. Like, this maybe, but like stuff like this, it just ain't it. I don't know, man. I'm really not a fan of just placing random things in the map to call it America, to call it China, or whatever. It just doesn't work in this map theme, in my opinion. But yeah, I want to know someone who actually does like it, why their thoughts on they like it is. I mean, looking at this is probably the closest so far to maybe how it should be if you're going to add it. Because you've already got the trees and you've got a bit of a tropical vibe on this. So immediately it kind of already makes a bit more sense, but let's see if the map is going to be a good one. Quick slide. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is going to be like all bug slide? Wait, no? Because reactor, it's just working. It's a double bounce. A weird transition. So I quickly had a look. Oh, here we go. At the editor to try and utilize the new blocks and see what I could build. And I tried landing on those sand blocks and it was really awkward. It did seemingly work not too badly in this map. God, that's a tight gap. They lose the gear so hard there. That's weird. But yeah, I said when I was mapping, I'm like, it feels like if you're gonna use it, it's gonna have to be like super slow sand usage, which I think is a bit of a missed opportunity. I think some cool transitions could have been had. Damn, I wanted to see if I could zoom. Fantastic. Yeah, I had like maybe 300, 400 speed, and like you land in the sand, and then it was like so bumpy and undrivable. So, I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. It doesn't seem like it's been badly implemented in this map, if I'm to be honest, so far. Although, like, something like this, like, jumping out of it is also really weird. Yeah, I think you just need, like, the perfect speed and that's it. I just made my own identity. So is that what happens when you have water tires? Like, what the hell? Yeah, I've historically never ever liked water identities, let alone identities in general, so it's probably a map I'm not gonna like, but again, that is just my personal opinion. And this as well, if you make a mistake, you're just doomed. I guess that's a lot of the time though. Start. Good turn around there. Have we tapped by the millimeter again? You can flip that. I felt like I was about to flip. That lag still not fixed. Scary. No! Hello! Why am I bouncing like a bunny rabbit? Formal. Is this your doing? Did you activate bunny hop? Thanks for 95, bro. How you doing? I am already excited for another Formal Tuesday, but we have to wait 6 days. It sucks. That's turbo. Yeah, well, isn't it actually a thing? Maybe not. Don't remember that being one. I wonder how much you can risk that turn. That looked pretty fast. Clipping rocks this time. Transition still feels odd. Slow. Move for it. Found this part yet though. That's a bit down. And I've got the gear. Nice. So much extra speed for that. Tip the water, is that gonna fail? Shortcut. That's a tight line. Why does that feel like I had so much more speed? Dude, that's way further than usual. I don't know why I had so much extra speed there. I hope that's consistent and not actually random. Let's drift. Not bad. What's in my way? Ugh. I don't want to be that guy. But I did spoil myself of the offer time, and that's why I don't like having this metal canner out. And I did notice that all the maps are fairly off on offer time, and then I noticed this one is not. And that wasn't that bad of a run. Am I fucking doomed on getting this offer time? I mean, I will get it, but am I going to be stuck here for like 2 hours? I don't want to play this map for 2 hours. Have you kept up with getting all the offer times? Or did you give up a while ago? So there were a few that were really tough. Good. Still don't understand this transition. I think I've lost time. Yep. Slow again. So maybe you need to air time that, and that felt nice. That does not feel nice though. So I got the outside line until I didn't. Yeah, the full speed run. That was one of the tough ones. Don't know how long that took me. I think that season was rough. Was that Toner's last season? I fucking hate this. Especially when this is a thing. This is fucking trash. Why does this happen? Just, I guess it's too much tilt. $107.14. What? I need another half a second on that. This is another thing. Why I am against identities. I don't think a clown fiesta is more appropriate to have than having an actual close battle. I still remember a lot of these type of maps was just a clown fiesta. It'll be a lot closer this year because people are gonna maximize tryharding, which is good to see, but when you go risky like that and you just get penalized for it, that's awesome. What a great fun experience that is. I like crashable maps, but identities aren't the way to do that. Easy map, one gimmick, it's kind of random. I mean, yeah, I guess you could use the word gimmick, I don't know. I mean, something which I also... I don't know. This one's a bit hard to say. But to me, especially with identities, it feels like it's based for the casual viewers to get excited at a point of the map. Firstly, why not be excited at the entire match? Like, I was fucking hyped in the TM games when some of the rounds were like super fucking close. Now I just have to wait until an identity at the end of the map, which you could be like, oh, he failed, how unfortunate. Like, the thing is, these players are fucking good, so they'll make it work, but... I think there's more entertaining ways to make it work. But yeah, what I was originally going to say to that is, like, identities are basically made for beginners to understand something of a map. Because for some reason they're not allowed to understand the rest of the map. They just have to wait until an identity part. That's another story. The thing I'm trying to say is, I can't think because I'm on a good run, is if you're building a map for like a casual point of view, but the casuals aren't going to be playing the maps. I honestly feel like the fact that they've made these a copycat of things that have already been made, I'm honestly not going to be surprised that all maps will just be previous ones now. Hey look, I got the upper gear, so I'm so much quicker. I don't even think it's a gear, I think it just happens. So weird. And then I just get this for no apparent reason. What an awesome, awesome, awesome map. Start. Speed, so we're just a ton ahead. 0 cents. Why it happens. That's slow because we're on such a good start. Decent. That's it. If I get this now, let that slow down so much. Go with it. Could be good actually. On. Yes. Fucking hell. That is a rough one. I mean, maybe I'm just bad because there's 90. That's like my worst rank out of any of them so far. It's me. That was rough. Oh, I'm better than Murder, confirmed. Can I have his spot for EWC? Oh, that took a long time. I think that's one of the worst maps they've made in a long time. Hilariously, the mapping side of it isn't too bad. I mean, this part's really weird, but other than that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a good map, personally. Alright, map 25, but I'm not sure if it's going to be bonkers or not, because I think it's going to be similar to just a regular identity map. That's a good start. Yeah, it feels like we've been playing for years now, because that took such a long time. 1 and map 4. Really just go slow through the map first. It's going to take me a while to get used to it anyway. The long U-turn. These Julius Caesar statues and stuff just don't fit. It's so weird in my opinion. It was the worst scenery that they possibly could have added when it was in World Tour, and now it's back. It's so odd in my opinion. I mean, I like the idea of making it worldwide, like there's nothing wrong with that, but just the 2D painted art just doesn't work with the rest of the map styles. Oh my god. Did I actually call it? No, it isn't. Okay. I think I'll be done with these maps if they brought back the plastic with like a zoop. Not a plastic, a pole with a zoop. That was terrible. I've also been debated by that road right there. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Was that straight out of another identity, or we finally got a unique one? I know they've done platforming before, but I don't think it was set up like this. But platforming in general isn't, I guess, the most new thing ever done in Trackmania. The start is difficult. Yeah, tight. Sure if that would count as a good run or a good drift or not. Is this supposed to be full NASCAR? I suppose so. Feels quicker as a drift though. Get it perfect, just faster. But that boost is such a debate. It looks like you could try and maximize it. Again, I'm really struggling with that turn. It works. I'm doing it right still. Again. Also struggling. What's this? How much speed have I lost? It's 11. Save it. Inside to outside, so you can get inside here, so you can actually make this turn. Usually that would be good, but because it's penalty grass, I'm not sure if that's what you'd want. Slight over jump at the end. Oh, now this overtime's like, you do it blind. Like, how am I 2 seconds ahead? I mean, it was a good run, don't get me wrong, but there's lots of things you can improve with that run. And then now I'm 27th. Is my hate to the reactor boost just justified because I can't do it? I noticed this at the start of the map, and I really like that. I like some of the pieces they've added. See, I would rather this being added as Greek scenery than adding random 2D images throughout the map. So I do really want to know what your guys' preference would be. Because obviously it's limited, but then, I don't know, it just fits the stadium, and these, in my opinion, still, I don't think so. Alright, well that was the longest playthrough ever. Exactly just under 3 hours. That was pretty crazy. So, the first time we have ever had the new environments, or vistas, which I don't think I'll ever call them. Very basic map to start off with, as expected, which I think is fine, but then I kind of wanted it to ramp up just a slight bit amount. I mean, I guess we did, but in nearly all of them, there was a running joke of every second map had a penalty section, which just killed off the vibe, in my opinion. I just think that is such lazy mapping. I guess it's good for beginners because it means they do get that slowdown fairly easy, but it just feels so incomplete from other potential ideas that could be had in a map. And then all of a sudden, 16 to 20 just felt like completely different maps, like more regular style to what we've been having. And then obviously we have now 5 maps that don't feel like anything else in the campaign, which I don't know how I feel, because I really like the idea of having it in the campaign, because then people can focus on trying to get it, and then playing through it, you get points for the ladders and stuff, but as a whole campaign, it just feels like 3 entire different sections now. It feels like you get 5 maps for pros, you get 5 maps for like intermediate pro, regular kind of campaign, and you get 15 intermittent, or intermediate. Which is fine, because it was always going to be for beginners. And now that we've finally got something for a bit more professional. But I think they could still add a little bit more flair, I think is what's missing in the middle here. I think that's probably my take out of it. In terms of maps for this campaign, as I said, like the first 10 are just very simple. I didn't really, they're not that memorable. Then the next few, I mean, it's full PF practically. I think that one was pretty good. And then there was a lap map. There's a few lap maps in this campaign, which is kind of nice to see. Yeah, so we had laps that have finally made a return in a style of, I think there was 2, 4, and then 5 laps or something, which is pretty good. I'm not the biggest on like the longer length maps for campaign, but it's good to see. I'm definitely not against it. And then we had some, I mean, I enjoyed 19 a lot. There was a lot of risk involved in that map, as much as maybe there was a bit of blind mapping. Then 18, if that's the ice map, that's like a super precise ice map, which I think means it's a really good ice map, but it's very difficult. And then honestly, the other maps I think are somewhat forgettable. But maybe that was because I was stuck on these for so long. Map number 1, yeah, I don't think I liked it that much, but it's maybe solely because there is an identity I don't like. Map 2, I think, was a better map, but then an extremely boring identity of just going up, down, up, down. I think that was one of the worst identities. Map 3, I think it was good, but then it also felt like 2 different maps. It was like pretty smooth, a bit more speedy, and then all of a sudden super slow, long corners, and then the precise ending. Like, it's fine, but again. And then one of the worst maps they've ever made in a campaign, in my opinion, the Brazil 2026, which kind of sucks because the scenery is probably one of the better ones, but there were so many weird bugs with the reactors. I don't think the driving itself was that interesting. And yeah, I don't know. I did not like that personally. And the final map, not too bad. Probably the quickest I got out of all of them, which means it was a bit more to my style, but I think the map was really fun, but again, the identity was just a little bit boring. And I think this is one of the more mixed maps as well, so I'd probably put this as one of the better maps. But yeah, then the end was just a bit... I mean, it was alright when I had that final run, I suppose. As long as you can get this smooth, you can risk the end. I don't know if you have to force to like 2-wheel off of that, but then that will be a weird landing. But yeah, very intriguing to see us into probably the future of campaigns. This is like basically the first campaign again, except just a completely different style, because the first season was obviously a lot of actual Nadeo employees and Hylas making maps. These are definitely professional mappers, which is good. But yeah, we'll always have the 5 identity maps, which will be interesting. So I'm curious to see what everyone thinks. But those are my quick summary of it. I've probably forgotten a few things, but there we go. GG, like, sub, do it all. I don't know. See ya in another one.